love forever, but we're still here. We lie on a hillside, waiting for answers on a hillside. My mind is borderline.
Welcome back to the At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis. More than a fuel station, more than a convenience store. It is your one-stop travel shop on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermilion and Yankton. And if you're thinking I let that song go on quite a while, I did, because I was sliding the wrong buttons and I could not figure out what I was doing wrong. You'd think this was my first day, but it's not, I promise. But we do have a great guest on the line. She was recently announced as one of the 2026 Henry Heider Hall of Fame inductees. We have the 2016 Summit League Volleyball Player of the Year, Audrey Reeg. Audrey, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I am better than I deserve. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. Really appreciate it. And I tell you what, let's just start at the beginning. Let's have you talk about you, about yourself, your family, hobbies, interests, your background, and the path that led you to become a USD Coyote.
Yeah, so now I am 32. I am almost 10 years out from my career at USD, which is absolutely crazy. Since my volleyball career time at USD has ended, I went to nursing school, so I got my BSN, that's Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. I did an accelerated program through a school in Waterloo, Allen College. So I did that, and then I became a nurse. I work on the birthing suites, so I help women bring their babies into the world, and then I will take care of them postpartum for the couple days that they're in the hospital still. So that is my job career, and I just absolutely love it. Always knew I wanted to do something with babies or pregnant mamas, so I was very blessed to be able to do that right out of school, and I am 8 years in, still doing that. I've gotten married. Me and my husband, Josh, live in our hometown, Dubuque, Iowa, so that's awesome. A lot of our family is here with us, and me and Josh have a 2.5-year-old daughter, Harper. She sees me hitting the volleyball around once in a while, so I'm really hoping to instill that talent and love for volleyball into her as well. But, of course, whatever she wants to do, I'll be her biggest encourager. But, yeah, we're just doing the family thing and work thing, and I guess just talking about my life and volleyball and what brought me to USD initially. So I had played volleyball for, I don't even know when I started, maybe 5th grade. That's just a guess. But just fell in love with it and was lucky to be really good at it. It just kind of came naturally to me, and I tried really all the sports. Like, I tried judo, soccer, softball. I was in band and wasn't very good at that. But volleyball really stuck, and I absolutely loved it. And going into club, I traveled an hour and a half away to play for a club called Iowa Rockets, and that really helped me just broaden my horizon as far as traveling for tournaments and being able to be seen and kind of scouted by other universities. I wouldn't have had those opportunities had I not ventured out and traveled for clubs. So I'm very thankful that I did that, and my parents were on board to support me with that. And ultimately was reached out to by a few colleges and had toured and met with the coaches. And I remember meeting with the coaches for USD and them talking about the Sanford Coyote Sports Center and that being a dream down the line. And I just really fell in love with that and how they were just like the kind of notion that they were going places and doing bigger things and getting better and better. And so made the decision to become a Coyote, and I'm just so thankful and blessed that I did. I know God definitely had his hand on my decision there because those 4 years really shaped me as a person. Obviously, anybody's college experience, you really find yourself and you're out from under your parents' wings, and you just find out who you are as a person and what's important to you. And I am just very thankful for my time at USD, and I'm so thankful for the coaches that I had. Leanne and Michael, they just invested so much into not just my volleyball career, but my growth as a person as well. I went through some challenging things happening too, like outside of volleyball in my personal life, and they were so invested in me as a person and made sure like I was good, not just on the volleyball court, but good as a whole and as a human being. And I just appreciate them so much. And yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 years since I've been there. I miss it, that's for sure.
Well, and that is amazing. And you entered USD, at a tremendous time of change. It had just become Division I, so there's kind of that, not turmoil. That's the wrong word, but there's that kind of transition that's big, and you guys are dealing with that. You're talking about the Sanford Coyote Sports Center that opened. You got to play your senior year there, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Just my senior year, so I'm thankful that I got 1 year in there. So that was pretty cool to be the first year in there for sure.
Well, what was that time like? Because I like to say, there's a movie Field of Dreams where they talk about the consistency of baseball as things build and fall, and all of that baseball is there. That's kind of USD and Coach Williamson and the volleyball program. It seems like that's been just stable, and you guys were part of that. It felt like you guys just kind of hit the ground running and didn't have a hiccup.
Yeah.
What were your 4 years like, and did you see maybe the differences being experienced by other programs?
Yeah. I always felt like we were always growing and always like doing a little bit better than the year before, and that was seen by our records, by our wins, by our division or our conference championship. Then even my senior season that we had never done before, or at least while I was playing, and it's just super cool to have played too when it was the den, we called it, where it was up behind like the football bleachers, just like literally nook and cranny, like tiny, just the court and some bleachers that were set up behind the weight room, like to then get to play in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. Like that was just such a massive upgrade, and this is legit now. We have an actual stadium. Like that was really cool to be a part of, and that was just like earned by the program, and all the success that was had, and just like I said, just continuing to better the program every year, and that goes along with the coaches and their scouting abilities and ability to get better and better players. And I know, like, even since I've left, like, the girls I see play for the program now, I'm like, I don't even know if I would be on the court anymore. Like, playing with these girls, they're so good. They're so talented, and it's so cool to, like, have USD being as successful as they are because of kind of the steps that we took and and what we got to be a part of when I was playing. But yeah, like I don't know if I would pass to be like on the starting lineup anymore, which is great for the program. It's like, yeah, that's how much better we are today. It's really cool.
Well, it is. It's so fun to see, and just and what was amazing, and I still feel like it was underappreciated that the recruiting class that they had come in a couple years ago was ranked in the top 5 nationally, like nationally, not mid-majors, whatever. It's Nebraska, Hawaii, or Penn State, and there's USD. And I feel like that was so totally underappreciated. As you do look at the program now, do you keep tabs on it? Is that something that you like to do? I know life gets busy, but even from Dubuque, do you keep tabs on how the Coyote volleyball team's doing?
Yeah, I mean, I follow them a little bit. I don't like tune into the games or anything, but I'll follow like wins and losses and how they end up at the end of the season. And I always will come back or will attend the alumni weekend every year, so that way I can like actually watch a game in person, which is my favorite thing to do. I love being back there and kind of getting the different side of it where I'm not playing and participating anymore. I'm getting to see what everybody else got to see. So I don't follow like wholehearted passionately where like games always like I don't know when they're playing, who they're playing, but I keep tabs a little bit, just social media updates and that. But yeah, I don't. You mentioned time and things. I definitely am pretty booked up with regular just life stuff. But yeah, I do still cheer them on from afar.
Well, and obviously, like you said, alumni weekend. That's kind of one of the things that precipitated this was your induction into the Henry Heider Hall of Fame. So I definitely want to talk about that. Let me just ask, what was your reaction when you received that notification?
I was super excited. Obviously, a little shocked. I had definitely hoped that would be something I could be on one day. I didn't expect it whatsoever, but I was hopeful, and that was, I guess, the goal of mine that I would be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and especially like following Kendall Crittenbrink, like I was not really a mentee of hers, but just kind of followed it in her footsteps a little bit. She was 2 years ahead of me, so I got to play with her, and just like she was a star in my eyes, and I wanted to be as good as her and to follow her the year after she was inducted last year. That's pretty cool to me. I'm very honored, and yeah, it's super cool. I tell my husband he should say something to me every day about it and congratulate me.
Well, I bet he's pretty proud of it. Out of it too.
Yeah, he was very excited for me. He played actually basketball in college, so he knows how big of a deal it is. And yeah, he was even more excited than I was. So yeah, very supportive.
No, that's awesome. Where did he play?
He played at Upper Iowa.
Okay.
So D2, but I want to do this shameless plug. He actually, I think, was recruited by USD and plenty of D1 schools, but he tore his Achilles. I think it was his senior year of high school. So he ended up like having offers pulled, and heartbreaking time for him. But he was a good basketball player, very good.
Well, and so your daughter, you're thinking maybe, athleticism. I'm just going to say this. Athleticism seems to run. Yeah, it feels like it, because she's going to be, my daughter, I always say she got the best of her mom's athletic ability, and mine, unfortunately, that was none. So she's been having to fight her battle. She's a bodybuilder
Yeah.
and stuff, though, so you don't have to be as
No.
athletic for that. It's still sports, but yeah. And so let me ask. I always like to ask, where did you get your athleticism from? Mom, dad? Did it skip a generation?
I was told it skipped a generation, so neither of. I mean, my mom's pretty athletic, but she didn't like play sports really. But my grandma, she played basketball, and she was pretty
Really?
naturally like athletic. So that's where they say my athleticism came from. So I'm going to shout out my grandma.
Yeah. So did she play? Was she in Iowa?
Yeah, she grew up in Dubuque, so
Okay.
I think she played. I don't think she played in college, but like she was just good in high school and took it pretty seriously. And
Iowa had that
Yeah.
unique form of basketball for girls, didn't it? Or am I totally making something up where it was?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, you find out for sure because I thought they played like 3-on-3 half court. But I'm an idiot sometimes,
no.
so
I don't think so, but I'll have to look into that. I
okay.
don't know.
I get things in my head sometimes that I don't even know where they come from, so that's probably totally wrong.
It's probably true somewhere, someplace.
Oh, well, good. Well, thank you for at least assuaging my feelings. But no, I'm probably being a moron. But that is awesome. And so, obviously, the family and all of that, but your career as well. You're doing what you wanted. You've been able to take advantage of that. But I always like to talk about in this day and age, especially in public schools, there's always this battle of a finite number of dollars, and they always say, "Oh, should we cut this or cut that?" And they always talk about arts, athletics, extracurriculars. I always feel like there's value to that. And do you feel like you learned skills, whether it's be coping or management or whatever it might be, through your playing career that you still can utilize, even whether you utilized it going to nursing school or utilized it in regular life or utilize it in work? Do you feel like that was a benefit to you beyond just the playing court?
Oh gosh, definitely. There's so many different character building aspects to sports, and especially at the Division I level. Like, it's like a job. Honestly, there's high expectations of you for behavior, performance, just like there would be at a job today, where I have a certain expectation of me that I have to uphold, and just discipline, like that's a huge thing. And can you be self-disciplined too? Can you hold yourself accountable to perform, and even if you don't have eyes on you, like that's a huge thing. And I always like to talk about the pressure of high intensity moments where it's like, let's say it's the other team has game point and you're down 5 points and you're serving. Like, those are some high pressure situations, and the average Joe wouldn't quite understand that. But going from that to like life and especially my job, like if anyone's been involved in a labor and delivery situation, it can get pretty intense, pretty high stress. Like, nursing in general is pretty stressful and high pressure in situations, especially when it's like critical care. And I definitely feel like I, through volleyball, have learned to kind of keep my cool in high pressure situations and just like kind of stay level through it. In that way, like, you're not like high energy, buzzing, stressful, losing it a little bit, if that makes sense. So I've definitely been able to apply that to my career. And yeah, just like obviously being a part of a team, and that applies not just to like job wise, but my family life. I have a husband now, and we work as a team every day, and yeah, I want the other to be successful just as I would want my teammates to be successful on the court that I'm playing with. So yeah, there's endless benefits to being a part of a sport or just any activity really that requires like discipline and training and so lots of benefits. I wouldn't cut costs there.
Nope, I agree, and that's why I always like to bring it up, because I think people try to minimize the benefits sometimes, and
Yeah.
I think that would be disastrous. So I always like to hear how people have felt like it's utilized and benefited them. So, all right, well, before I let you go, just wondered if you had some memories. Just, when the mind wanders, is there a memory or two or three that come to the forefront for you during your time at USD? And if it's even non-volleyball, that's totally cool. But if it's volleyball, that's cool as well.
Yeah. I mean, just playing in general, I miss that so much. Like when I go back and watch games, and I just want to like put on a uniform and go out and play, because after your college career ends, you don't get that competitive style of play anymore. There's nothing I could do now that would match that competitiveness and that like a level of playing. So that's really hard to part with, and to be like, gosh, like I'll never be able to do that again. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing and a bittersweet memory just to have been a part of that and been able to play at that level. But a specific memory would be probably my senior year playing against Denver at home. We had played against SDSU the night before, and I remember this game Saturday against Denver was going to be the decipher of whether we won the conference or not. And so we were just playing lights out. And I actually wasn't playing my best that night. I don't know if I gave too much the night before against STSU or what, but I just wasn't quite up to my standard. But the rest of the team picked it up, and we were just fighting, and it's fifth set, and I get set the ball, and it hits the block, but the block on their touch goes out of bounds, and we end up winning. And we're just all jumping up and down, and I like start crying just from pouring everything into that game. Like, even though like I didn't perform my best, like I heart and soul was like wanted that so bad, and for us to then win that and just like the emotions to come out, that was just an awesome memory. And then a couple of my other teammates are crying too, and yeah, it's that. I could almost choke up right now talking about it, honestly. Just like it's just so much more than just like a game, like you pour so much of your life into this, and yeah, to be able to have it like pay off in those moments and to be able to do it with like your best friends it's so fun. So that is a specific memory I'll never forget. I think that's a good one to end on.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Well, Audrey, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. And I assume you'll be back for the Hall of Fame. You're able to make it back for the ceremony or anything?
Yep,
all right.
Planning on being there.
Well, that'll be great.
I'll be there in October.
Sounds good. Well, Audrey, best of luck with everything. Congratulations on all of the success. And you have yourself a great rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. You too. Go
Thanks.
Yotes.
Go Yotes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Audrey Reeg, USD Coyote Henry Heider Hall of Famer, 2016 Summit League Volleyball Player of the Year, a deserving honoree. And I always love doing these Coyote conversations. And Coyote conversations, right now they're all sponsored by Dan Kohlberg of Farm Bureau Financial Services in the Meridian District of Yankton. Farm, auto, home, life, it's your future. Let's protect it. That's Dan Kohlberg of the Farm Bureau Financial Services in the Meridian District of Yankton. Right now, the exclusive sponsor of Coyote Conversations. Well, we'll be back with more on At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis.